the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday. It is the end of the week. We bless the Lord. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from this side of the world, on this side of Nigeria, and from this side of Lagos State. Welcome to the bar again this beautiful Friday afternoon. Told you we're coming back yesterday with plenty of gist, and of course, a lot of things that happened between yesterday and today. A lot of things happened yesterday. A lot of things happened today. A lot of things are still happening as we speak. Basically, in the world of entertainment, the world of sports, politics, everything. Basically, we have news everywhere from all over the world. So definitely sit back, relax, and we're going to be giving you all the gist right here on the Boom Bar. And today is a lot of music that we're going to be analyzing. It is New Music Friday. We're also going to tell you there's a bit of sports here and there. There's a lot of record breaking during this international break. Seems international breaks most of the time these days are not very interesting, but this particular one seems like it started off on a very interesting note. So yes, we're going to be talking about that. The courts are in the news. The Osun State Court is in the news. The petition tribunal is in the news. The federal government, remember, Nigeria Air is also in the news. Parties here and there, and those are the things that we're going to be talking about today till the end of the hour. So let's dive right into it as I bid you a warm welcome again to the bar.
And because it's Friday, we will be offering a couple of people drinks. So if you can make your way down here to the office, for those of you who are watching and listening, there's happy hour. Have you guys heard of Governor Happy Hour? Yeah. Today,
would you not let
Dolupo will be footing the bills?
No. Yeah. No. I do not agree with something I did not talk. When, how, where, when?
You're a big girl, please.
No, I'm not.
Okay, if she doesn't foot the bill, I will.
Thank you.
On our bill.
He will.
And on our behalf. But of course, it's not only
as
about
long as
bills.
I'm not footing the bill.
It's been a busy day at the courts. The courts here in Nigeria have been busy. Some people have to get served.
Probably will get busier.
The judgment that came out yesterday as it concerns a Nigerian serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And then suddenly...
Okay, see, Akim Bitoye is asking you, happy hour, kwa.
Exactly.
I know what he's talking.
Happy hour for
I
you.
have no idea what he's talking about. As long as I'm not footing the bill. Let's go ahead.
If Akin comes, I will pay.
Aki, you have been put on the spot.
It's just the man I want to see.
Anyway, now talking about it, but before we get to all that, let's just dive very quickly into
the music.
The music for the week. A lot of music had dropped this week. We're starting from Victoni, Tempo, Don Toliver, and Rema with Soweto Remix.
Now, the Soweto song, the original one, is even a remix of a remix of a. Why am I saying that? No, I don't mean it like that. I actually mean that.
It says INEC. What? Oh, INEC. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We're definitely doing that. There's a lot of court matters, At least voting is over, so now
in most places.
Yeah, it's about the courts.
About 95% over. Yeah.
And I see what you did there with the eye and the neck. All right, so of course we're kicking off with good music, and we're talking about new music. Soweto, the remix is such a look. It was a beautiful song that got better. Like Victoni and Tempo. It's a song that already had its own dance moves and everything.
Exactly. So why can't we just leave some songs the way they are?
Then came the advent of Don Toliver, and of course the rave of the moment, the man himself, the man that has broken all the records when it comes to Billboard, charts in Africa. Rema, jumping on that song just took it to another level. dropped like 2 days ago. I have played that song. I love Soweto, the remix.
Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a song that might grow on me, but I'm not there yet. I would not say I'm there yet. For me, it sounded like the old song. The old song I think is a very fantastic song. So having a remix of a very good song already, or kind of brings this kind of comparison for me. But to be honest, I think I prefer the original song or the remix, whichever one. But I prefer that one to this one, personally.
That's the beauty of life, though. We can go with our choices. You know?
Okay, moving on from that, Nonso Amadi and Zinoliski with Lockup. Who would have thought this marriage was?
It's a collaboration that you didn't see coming. Because, Nonso is your cruise, alte, slow jam guy. The Bozino has the ability to jump on any song. He has shown it now that it would, collaborate with anybody. Tiwa Savage, anybody. It's Zinoliski, and he's done it again this time with Nonso Amadi. The animated video is already out, so it's a nice video, nice song, and interesting. But guys, I always say this: can you please come up with the clean version of your songs so that radio can play it for you too?
Okay, moving on from that, we have Odumodu Black. Am I sure I pronounced that properly?
Yeah, well, that's how I pronounce it too. So
with Declan Rice.
Yes, and it's Odumodu. There's something about Odumodu. He exudes this confidence. Like Odumodu.
Yeah, he has this confidence of, it is me.
Not me now.
Jonathan.
I got this. And that always shines through.
Yeah, the charisma really shines through in his music. That you cannot take away from him.
No, you can't.
I totally agree with that. Wani and Odusi, the engine, has no doubt.
Yeah. So,
I don't know how I skipped this song.
Oh, I listened to it.
I didn't listen to this song. I saw it and I don't know how we just skipped.
Odusi, I am a big fan of Odusi's, right? And Wani, I've heard about one or two of his songs too, and they're not bad songs too. So when you bring this kind of collaboration, they feed off each other, and it's just like one nice blend. It's a good song.
Okay, that's very, very cool to know. I didn't listen to that, so that's why I cannot talk about it. Now, Magix comes, sets off his 2023 with 2 songs. Looks like it's going to be part of an album. Colors and Loyal.
Magix is with the Mavens, and he has a unique voice. And he's able to drop 2 songs that don't sound alike. You get like...
Yeah, they actually don't.
It's the same guy, We can't call it an EP because it's just 2 songs. Same day, same time. But I have listened to both songs about 2 times over, and I like both songs.
I think that is actually not bad though, really. Now listening to the songs, I can't even remember which was which, but they actually did sound really nice. Funny thing is that I think one of them has kind of for me personally, I won't say a forgetting effect. Like, I think it was Colors. Yes, I think it was Colors.
My baby.
Yeah, my baby. Yeah, that one. Do you know, I started listening to it and then I was doing something and I'm like, oh wow, I was doing something before, and then I had to go back again. I'm like, oh okay, like the way the Loyal song there's this catchy thing to it that just keeps you stuck till the end. I didn't get that from Colors.
That's why there are 2 songs. That's why there are 2 different songs.
Yeah, but in all, they actually did very, very nice too. Very, very
and
nice
again,
songs.
Kudos to Don Jazzy and the entire Mavens family. They don't play around. Like, yeah, okay, well, what they do is play, though, but they do it seriously. Like, they're very serious with production,
Yeah.
bringing out songs and everything, and they're constantly putting stuff out. The same thing that goes with YBNL.
And you know that we're in
stuff.
an era where for you to stay relevant, because with a couple of years ago we didn't have New Music Friday and people dropping songs as this much.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that that's the only thing you need to stay relevant, but one of the things you really need
it's
to
a wave that you can tap
you
into.
need to stay there.
Yeah.
People need to constantly hear your voice, because the minute they don't, there's so much out there that people can quickly forget.
I agree.
There's so much. There's so many voices.
I agree.
Even you as not just you're listening, or someone in radio that has to. At times you're like, okay, what is this again? You just get lost in so much. So imagine people that just listen to it for fun.
And again, there's a new wave. I won't say new. There's a different style now. People are moving away from piano music slowly. Listen to all the songs that have come out today. Which one would you even say is piano? We've had piano for over a year now. It's everything piano. And I like piano. I'm on piano. I do. But if you notice
we're moving away from it. We're moving something else now.
They're drifting away from Amapiano.
I say, but you also need to just go with the flow at the end of the day. Sometimes going with the flow might deviating from the norm works. Sometimes actually. And I think it is what is in the Ajabo Hustlers. I think that Ajabo Hustlers, they gave us You Go No. I think that they've always had a different sound.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has worked for them.
And they stuck to their guns. They're doing their thing their way. And the two of them, and it's just a perfect combination. The guy that raps, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, but I just know them as they do and I know a lot of their songs. It's just the same style. Then I like the video. I like how one had a red tint, the other had but it's still the same Ajebo Hustlers style.
Yeah.
And it's a good song.
I agree. I think I agree with you. I like.
You
actually like when people deviate from the norm, but they make it work. It's actually very, very, very nice to see. Lil Kesh came with Good Bad Boy.
Yeah, Keshi. The lyrics are very funny and very interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Your typical Lil Kesh. And again, there's actually a message, the way, I don't mean all women. The way some women would describe, I want a tall guy,
have very high
tall,
expectations.
handsome, and he was also trained a little bit of jibes back at women, like, you want the guy that has money, but you don't have money, and stuff like that. But there's the part where he started mentioning people's names, and I'm worried. There's an artist that he mentioned, and I'm not sure, maybe he meant it that way, so I have to go listen to the song. That's why I'm not going to mention the name, because you don't want to go and start controversy where there's none.
No, I not really like that. Yeah, right.
But
anyway,
Lil Kesh, nice song.
Not a bad song. For me, it was typical Lil Kesh. I think he needs to do a little bit more to stay up there. He was once up there. Then we didn't hear a lot of him for a while. Then it looks like he's been trying to get back into the scene. He's still dropping
songs. He's still trying to, just catch that wave.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Iyanya has plans.
Yeah, he does. I saw the teaser that he put out. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And I'm like, nice video. Bad boy. Then, of course, the song. It's a very, very nice song. There's something said earlier when we started New Music Friday segment about staying relevant and how if you don't, they're going to forget about you. Now, this is a guy you can't forget, because in the last 1 year or 2 year
in the last couple of months, he's
putting out projects
there, and they're very
and the songs
good.
Keep breaking through.
They're very good.
They keep breaking through.
I think that we're going back to the. It sounds like we're going back to the Iyanya of, was it Project Fame?
It's Iyanya.
Remember that we saw Iyanya at, I think it was Project Fame, and with the lovey-dovey person. And then kaboom was the Kukere, like, okay, what's happening? But now I think we're back to the would I say original Iyanya, and it's working for him. It's fantastic.
You see, she didn't mean it that way.
No,
she didn't mean it the way it came out.
Those songs actually did.
Because the funny thing
I'm sure
is
that Kukere was probably one of his biggest songs
exactly.
ever.
So what do you mean original Iyanya?
It's just that
you can say old without
commercial,
saying.
It was just very commercial. It wasn't the.
Why? When did it become a crime to be commercially successful?
I'm not saying that
as a singer,
that is
as an artist.
Thing. I'm just saying that maybe he just needed to grow into his own.
So that's why I say your choice of words are original.
Maybe,
like, okay.
Maybe, but
so
maybe
he was faking
just needed to grow into
with
his
those
own.
massive hits.
I don't know.
Mr. Horio.
But at this point, Iyanya is doing fantastic with his sound that he's working with. And I think he's working for him now. He's doing amazing. They're beautiful, beautiful songs that he will actually keep on repeat. Shout out to Iyanya. That's it. Do not let anybody come between us. Anyway.
After dissing him.
I did not diss anybody.
Okay.
I did not diss anybody. Yeah, we have
except for deepfakes, videos don't lie.
They're deepfakes now, exactly like you said. They're deepfakes now, so anything is possible. Anyway, CDQ gave us a song with the band. We haven't seen the band in a while, and there was somebody else on that song. Timaya. I think that song came out, it was typical CDQ, which the honest truth is that CDQ's sound, it has a sound that, whether you like it or not, is the kind of sound that you would always hear, and it would always, you would always feel like, oh, what's happening here? But it definitely makes it work all the time. And on that one, I don't know if you listen to that song.
Which song is this?
CDQ song.
The one that came out last week?
No. This is the one with Timaya and
no, I haven't heard it.
And Dibanj.
I have not heard it.
Oh.
I didn't listen to it.
Very, very, very nice song. I will not even lie. Like, let's be honest. Except you want to just be, what's it called? It's typical CDQ. We don't hear a lot of CDQ all the time. But it's CDQ, and it may definitely made that work. I'm trying to look for the name of the song. I saw that song like a few minutes ago. Anyway, we saw it with Dibanj and Timaya. Yes, Igbalode. Yes. Dibanj's hook was very nice. I think that Dibanj has finally found his calling, which is maybe stick to singing hooks for people.
Nah, I'm not gonna agree when you say that about Dibanj. I beg.
No, there was a time that it was really good, but to me personally, let's be honest, a lot of songs that Dibanj sang then, maybe other than Oliver Twist and a few other songs, they probably will not fly now because those songs are like pretty superficial and all those things. A lot of people are like really into deep songs, and songs have actually evolved. Songwriting has really evolved, and I think that personally, a lot of what he used to sing there will probably not fly now. Maybe that's why he's not doing a lot with the amount kind of songs that he's releasing. But you need to listen to the one with CDQ. It was a very nice hook that he brought into the song, and it was beautiful.
All right, let's move on.
And yeah, I think Lighter has Get Money. It was, there are actually a lot of songs that came out this week. Before we use all the time for just music, you can catch all these songs on Boom Radio by 5 p.m. today, 5 p.m. tomorrow, and 5 p.m. on Sunday with Diolu. So yeah, let's quickly move on from that. Definitely you can catch all these songs. Quickly, let's move on to a little bit of sports, where first things first, the Super Eagles are going to be playing today. They're facing Guinea-Bissau. That's the first leg of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Guinea-Bissau today at Abuja. I hope that Abuja jinx is finally broken.
Well, it's not against a team like Guinea-Bissau. I beg. It's not Guinea-Bissau. Even if you want to start to say things, it's not Guinea. I beg. How now? The Super Eagles are definitely going to win today. They have the full complement of their attacking.
Yeah,
players.
they do actually. They do.
The defenders are all in. There's no injured player that's going to affect the style of play. I am not impressed with the coach and the football administrators, the NFF. You just know that Nigeria is getting by solely based on the talent of the players that we have, and that our administrators are not doing very well, and that's the truth. The coach in his own seems to be, out of his depth, but the Nigerian spirit will pull through. We have amazing players.
Yeah, I think they have amazing players. I think the players will do a lot. I'm
not sure about is, if I don't know if the stadium was banned from allowing fans, because it was chaotic the last time we played there, and we lost, to Ghana. Ghana went ahead to qualify.
Oh, this is the game that they're going to play without fans.
Yeah, so I want to think so, because whatever happened there was messed up.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, let's move on from that. As the news broke that World Athletics have now banned transgender people from participating in women's sports.
Now, without sounding condescending, we're going to explain what transgender is first, in clear terms, to people who don't know. It's a feeling that certain individuals have about their gender. Nothing backed by science or biology. It's just solely a feeling that, you feel like a man or you feel like a woman. And so imagine when a man just wakes up one day and says he feels like a woman. And for that reason, being, say, for instance, a swimmer, a male swimmer, professional swimmer, competitive guy, jumps into the pool with women, who's going to win? Most times it will be him. Most times, because of, how sports has been. And I know that things are changing, but at the moment...
Yeah, they're talking about, the World Athletics basically was talking about how, especially with people that have gone through puberty as men. And the explanation is that when you go through puberty as a male child, you have already grown features and bone structure and all that, and strength as a man. So for you to come back as an adult and say that your DNA still shows that you're a man and you still have those features, which are not going to... So you're putting the women at a disadvantage. We saw that happen during... it was in swimming, where someone who had never won anything decided that they were transgender, and then they moved to women swimming, and then they started winning medals. Like, hello. Yeah, I think it puts people at a disadvantage, and I think sports that seems to bring everybody together, that seems to... I don't think that sports needs this kind of controversy at the moment. So I like what they're doing. Everybody stick to what it is. Maybe at some point, maybe they're going to make transgender categories.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from
Yomi
Kuku, who was actually suggesting that the next thing for World Athletics and maybe all the other sporting federations to do is to create a transgender category.
There's men's athletics, women's athletics, transgender athletics, so everybody else.
It will be fair on all the trans people who have a feeling that, look, they want to compete. So let them create a trans competition.
Exactly.
For trans men and trans women.
Because imagine, take for example, I think that some of these things is because of the kind of sports it is. Imagine contact sports, like where you have rugby, you have American football, you even have football. We see men play with men, And unintentionally, we see the kind of injuries some of them have. They have to their bones. Some have almost lose their eye. They lose their, do you know, you see the kind of major surgeries. Some people can't even go back. They're never 100%. That's a man to a man. Imagine that kind of man now decides he's transgender and now goes to play in women's football or rugby or American football, or there are a lot of other sports, or even as cricket. A man will probably run faster than a woman any day, anytime.
Most def.
So, haven't you put women at a disadvantage? Or you call maybe tennis. The man probably has more strength to play, for him to hit the ball with the racket more than the woman. It's nothing. It's not denigrating anybody or putting anybody down. It is what it is. So if we start those things, aren't you putting a particular set of people at a disadvantage automatically?
I think so. And if you really care about having your way, you must also care about what is fair. And what is fair is that you don't bring, an advantage into something that would really cheat other people or prevent them from achieving their own, goals. And objectives. So it shouldn't be like that.
It definitely shouldn't be. Anyway, still talking about sports. Cristiano Ronaldo and breaking records. A lot of people are doing a lot of feats this international break, as Cristiano Ronaldo has broken the men's international appearance record on Thursday by appearing for Portugal for the Euro 2024 qualifiers. When he appeared, this is his 197th appearance for Portugal.
You might like him, you might not like him, you love him, you don't love him. It doesn't take away anything from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He is indeed a top athlete and one of the best that ever did it when it comes to football. He's up there, with the best. So congratulations to him on this record, because some people have only one cap to their entire name, their entire career, and some never even wear one cap. And wearing a cap means the number of times you play for your country.
Exactly. Quickly, also talking about breaking records, Harry Kane, Tottenham's Harry Kane, has now become England's all-time scorer in men's football. He's said to have overtaken Wayne Rooney after he scored against Italy this morning as well. I think that ended like 2-0 or 2-1. I'm not sure about that. But now he has overtaken Wayne Rooney's tally of 53 goals for the Three Lions.
Yeah, and congratulations to Harry Kane. It sounds like Hurricane. Every time, first time I heard his name, like Hurricane. Kane was going to take over, and he did. Sadly, at the club level, I'm not sure he's made the right decisions. Sticking with
there's stories of him
Tottenham.
Going to Manchester United and all that. But
if I was Manchester United coach, I wouldn't buy Harry Kane. I wouldn't.
Why though?
How old is he?
29.
Exactly. There are younger players out there.
Yeah, it could still give you 1 or 2 years of premium football.
And you want to keep doing 1 or 2 years when someone can give you 10. Okay, but anyways. But it will be an addition, a good addition to any team that he joins.
Yeah, I think he's still playing premium football.
He's a great player, and congratulations to him on breaking Wayne Rooney's record.
Yeah, until talking about records, Lionel Messi, also at this international break, has scored his 800th career goal on Argentina's World Cup homecoming. They scored during the Argentina's 2-0 win over Panama yesterday evening.
There's no way Messi is going to allow Ronaldo, get to 800 and say, you care, me care, I'm here. I like the rivalry between those two. I don't think there's any animosity between them. The only people who have shown this animosity are the fans, who need to understand that you can still support these guys without hating on the other one. I love the era of Ronaldo and Messi. Sadly, I think it's coming to an end.
Very soon. Looks like.
And I'm not sure we're going to have something similar
to that
to this.
anytime
I'm
soon.
not sure.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Lionel Messi once again. Everything they said he couldn't do, he has done.
He did. Definitely did. And also, finally, before we go, former Chelsea player.
Before we go where?
Before we move on to something else. Thomas Tuchel is said to be Bayern's next manager.
Yes, the stone the builders rejected is now the head cornerstone. Tuchel was doing it for Chelsea and actually won them a trophy that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, Champions League.
And
then that's the person you kick out.
And they sacked him.
He had a few funny, and then you kick him out.
Then they brought in someone who has not even come close, and they are being patient with that person. You see, Chelsea should have stuck with Tuchel. But that's history now.
I honestly don't think that he would have been this bad.
The shocking part for me is the Bayern coach. I don't know why they sacked him. I don't think that is
Bayern is doing bad.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And maybe with what I think at times, as much as Tuchel might be good and all that, it might cause a bit of imbalance in the team at the moment. They're playing Champions League football. There's still their own football, and that's Bundesliga. I think that at this time there might be a bit of imbalance, but we'll see what is going to happen from that. And let's move on quickly from that, and let's go straight to the courts. As the news on everybody's lips, which this was a court case that everybody was looking forward to today, is a court of appeal concerning the Osun State Governorship elections. And now the Court of Appeal today has set aside the decision of the tribunal, where they've now upheld the governorship of Senator Ademola Adeleke.
Yeah. A lot of confusion about that one before we arrived at this point. And of course, it's our job to clarify. Again, that's why we're always telling people, don't be in a hurry to break the news.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have seen tweets and even stories online about how Oyetola had won.
Yeah.
But this was while the judges were reading their judgment.
The judgment.
So on the points where they agreed with Oyetola, people had thought that the entire judgment was going to go his way. But, sadly for him and his supporters, not exactly. It didn't exactly go their way. Now, for Ademola Adeleke, he had lost, at the tribunal. And because he had the certificate of return and he was still the governor, nothing happened until this appeal. So, if it's being reinstated, when you read about it, they are correct also, because a particular tribunal had pronounced him as being kicked out. He's no longer the governor, but he stayed back there pending the appeal, because you can't do anything when there's an appeal in place. Now, the judges were saying, and they're basing their judgment on the fact that the tribunal went with the proof provided by the APC, especially when it came to the back-end servers and the data that they had gathered. And that's what they tendered to the tribunal. It was convincing enough for them. But you see, the judges of the appeal court are saying that, what about the voters register and other things that they should have used? They
should have used, yeah.
That they didn't use that. And so for that reason, they don't agree with the judgment of the tribunal. So they were setting that aside. There are other prayers and other talking points in the judgment. I have not studied in full, but the part that I have is what I brought up. There's a story or the angle of Ademola Adeleke using a forged certificate, amongst other issues. Now, an old video from the Nigerian police surfaced about 4 days ago, where the police PRO that time, or one of the police representatives, was talking about a criminal case or something being instituted, or a civil case being instituted against Ademola Adeleke. which of course in itself means that he wasn't even fit to contest
in the first
place. But I'm not sure this was one of the prayers here, but there's proof of that. However, for me, now personally for me, going by the results of the presidential elections in Osun State, Bola Tinubu got a massive vote there.
Yeah.
But Atiku got more votes. Atiku of the PDP, which you would like, you should credit to someone like Ademola Adeleke being the governor.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks after the state House of Assembly
elections,
the PDP cleared the entire state. To me, it shows that the bulk of, not everybody in Osun, but the bulk,
there's a majority,
over 50% of people voting in Osun want the PDP.
You know the funny thing with Osun State is that it's a very interesting time, because even if you go cast your mind back to when Oyetola won the elections the other time too, they have a very little percentage that it's almost like it's a divided thing for both of them. If you look at Oyetola's election where he won, Adeleke's election too where he won, there always, even the presidential elections, there's only very little gap. But still, if we look at this presidential elections and the House of Assembly elections, there is a little bit over, except there's going to be some conversation about how the elections were rigged. Other than that, there is beginning to look like there is a little bit of more likeness for the PDP in Osun State.
Yeah.
However, it is not, if I were the governor, that little bit is not enough for you to go to bed, because it is not a lot. If you compare it to a state like, I'm looking for a state that, a state like Borno State, or let's say a state like Kwara State. If you look at the presidential elections and the governorship elections in those states, it was almost the same thing that happened, and the wide margin in the presidential that happened also at those states. You can confidently say, those states are APC states. Or when you go to a state like River State and you look at the governorship elections, you can confidently say, that state is a PDP state. Yeah? I do not think that Osun State is a state that anybody should go to sleep over.
No, you can't. It shows, again, like you said, the margins are never wide.
They're not.
It took a rerun for Oyetola to even defeat Ademola Adeleke in the first place. And this election 4 years after also showed how close it was.
Very close.
Ademola Adeleke edged it based on the results announced by INEC. And that's why they give him his certificate of return. Now, a lot of people have based some of their analysis about the presidential elections on the ongoing court case in Osun State and the reference to the BVAS, and the IREV system that the INEC had introduced. And people had felt that, look, it could also help them dictate over voting and all of that, which it did, but which the court is now setting aside because of other aspects of the election.
Okay.
And this judgment might have a far-reaching consequence on other states, states like Lagos and somewhere in the eastern part of Nigeria where we're hearing that there's going to be court cases, and of course, especially the presidential case between Labour,
I'm guessing
APC and PDP.
I'm guessing that the first things first is that we're probably we're still not seeing the end of this issue. I'm guessing somebody somewhere is still going to Supreme Court.
Yeah, at times we've had cases like that where people have had to go all the way to the Supreme Court. It's not one of those cases where they'll tell you, you can't go to the Supreme Court. So let's see how it's going to pan out. Yeah,
we definitely will see that. So talking about that, the Director of Media and Publicity of the Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Team, Bayo Ononuga, has reacted to this court case, saying via his Twitter account that the APC will not give up, and the next action is to head to the Supreme Court. At times, heading to the Supreme Court is the best thing that can happen to everybody. This matter, there are definitely no speculations, and then everybody, it just puts the whole story to bed once and for all.
Well, for me at the moment, congratulations to the governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke.
He can sleep a bit now. He definitely.
Man has been sleeping.
No, I'm not sure that after a court sacking you, and you might look like you were just biding your time and all that, but man can sleep a bit. Still talking about court cases now. The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja has today ordered the president-elect to be served with copies of petition seeking to nullify his elections. Now, what we heard is that the advocates of the PDP and the Labour Party have said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president-elect and the presidential candidate of the APC, have been elusive. Basically, when they're supposed to serve you, when you want to be served, you are supposed to collect these things on your own. Mm-hmm. So now they're claiming that they've not seen him to give these things. Now the court has now said that he can be served through substituted means, which means that he could be served through his political party, the APC. At least we know that the APC has an office.
Yes, they do. Offices, or they have an HQ somewhere. And if you watch the interview of Festus Keyamo, who was part of that campaign council, it already seems like they already put out their list of legal team. They have a legal team on it already. So I'm sure it will not come to them as a surprise. No, it won't.
So now, Labour Party and PDP go and submit this thing to the office of the APC.
Right.
That's what the court is saying, and I think it makes perfect sense. Let's move on quickly from that. As the federal government is insisting that Nigerian Air is about 98% complete and will commence flights before May 29th.
Yeah, it's one of the stories that we're leading with, talking about a national carrier. Now, it's a campaign promise that this outgoing government of President Buhari made, how they were going to bring back the national carrier and all of that. Talking about campaign promises, one of the things they talked about was the presidential fleet. Oh, they were going to reduce it, but we didn't hear or see any reduction in the presidential fleet. People should be careful the kind of promises they make before they get to government, because it might just come back to bite you in the behind. But still talking aviation and the Nigerian carrier, it is interesting to note that one of the best airlines in the world is Ethiopian Airlines, and they are the principal partners of this project.
This project, yeah.
They seem like the best bid that they got. They said that Nigerians did not really bid and all of that, but at least Ethiopian Air won, and I'm actually excited at the fact that it's going to come to fruition. It means more jobs for Nigerians. It means the possibility of a competition on certain routes, which would most likely drive down
the prices,
because it's almost impossible to travel, to some locations now. I know someone who had mentioned something once, and how they would rather travel from other parts of Africa to some parts of Europe than travel from Nigeria.
Wow. And
I'm like, why? I said, look at the cost. I'm like, wow. So the foreign airlines know that you don't have a national carrier, and there's always a large volume of people. Then there's the issue of repatriation of funds, which also basically is some kind of capital flight, because the foreign airlines are complaining they can't take their money out of Nigeria the way they want it because of the CBN's policies on forex. But with Ethiopian Air, there won't be any need
for
those massive, repatriation of funds out of Nigeria.
Okay, so definitely we'll see how that goes. Quickly talking I think we should go. Still talking about politics. The very interesting. Something happened yesterday. Okay, but before we get into politics, let's also talk about something that is on everybody's lips now, which I think that the CBN. Let me just keep quiet. The CBN has now confirmed that there's evacuation of banknotes to deposit money banks. They're saying that there is mass evacuation of old notes from the CBN back into the banks. They're saying that also that the banks are to open on Saturdays and Sundays now, for now, so that and that the CBN governor is going to monitor compliance personally. How? Going to divide himself into how many banks?
To be honest, I think it's someone who knows that he has really messed up.
It's not looking like all the conspiracy theories that people have talked about, that after elections there will be money. Isn't it looking like that now?
So it looks like someone who's messed up and knows that, oh, I didn't do well. Let me see if I can, play to the gallery, and show Nigerians that I care. So for this reason, I'm going to super what? Something that was not even supposed to happen in the first place. If you had gone about it, based on the CBN Act, the CBN law that he has in his possession, that he used to start this process, that they said he was sent by the president or that he sent himself.
If it was then, he had been releasing that money
this
back in
money
the system.
would not all have been mopped up the way they were.
Isn't it looking like it was because of elections, and after now elections are over? It's not.
So, fellow Nigerians, your monies will now be handed back.
They said, I'm sorry. I'm even going to take that with a pinch of salt.
Yes,
until
the money is in circulation.
Until we see so much money in circulation. I'm sorry. We've seen a lot of drama from them a few weeks now.
Oh my God!
And
people have been through.
People have been through hell.
Lot.
People have died. Whether we like it or not, is a conversation we need to have. People have actually died. People are hungry, and it's a different thing if you don't have money to purchase. Is when even you that you have the money and you're able to do transfers. I can't count the amount of things I have not bought in weeks, because I need to buy it with cash. It was a few days, it was yesterday I was thinking about it, that I actually feel like plantain. But I've not had cash in a while. So, it basic things that you don't even think about before.
So,
it just goes off.
Adebayo asks,
good evening.
Mr. Oluwake says, it's so nice to be able to join up with the Boomba crew and Sabo today's episode. Thank you very much. Thank you for always being there. God bless you.
So basically, like things that we actually take for granted,
So this OCBN thing, because we have many stories.
It's not even making sense. So I'm going to take this
story
with a pinch of salt.
It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
We see this cash coming.
And Mr. Elefelefe or whatever.
Oh my God, really?
It's not. Look, I find you have to pronounce some names.
Yes,
man.
You don't. No, you don't.
It's a thing that happens to me.
You're just angry with the man. You're just.
So
I saw another variation of his name yesterday.
It's not Eleme Willie.
No. Someone said Emefiele. I'm like,
what? My cousin has said that since
what,
now.
What?
Emefiele.
Oh my God. Do not offend Nigerians.
Sir, we're sorry.
Do not offend
it's just that
Nigerians
we're finding it hard to
own
pronounce your
area.
name. It's not like we mean anything.
Just put it out there. Do not offend Nigerians if you do not want to. Anyway, still talking about all this. Let's move on to a bit of politics. As yesterday, there was an interview yesterday morning. We know that the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, has been granting a lot of interviews here and there.
Oh yeah,
he's been a lot in the news, and he's been very vocal about what he feels and how he feels it, and what he did and what he did not do, and who he supported and who he did not support. Yeah, he really doesn't care. Now, I think that if a reaction to that is when his own party, who he has said that he's not leaving for another party, has now suspended him, because if you will not leave, we are going to chase you away. Now they suspended him, Anyim Pius, Shema, and about a few others off. Now my question is, he has been suspended. Governor Ortom of Benue State has been said to face a disciplinary committee. The PDP has not said anything about Governor Wike, who yesterday or 2 days ago still insulted them. So what's happening? Why the double standards or triple standards?
There's a response that's allegedly from Governor Ortom of Bayern State. They're asking him to face a disciplinary panel, and he says that he's the party chairman that will face excuse me, disciplinary panel. I laughed. I'm like, you see, now the funny thing is, what exactly did Ortom do differently from Fayose?
Or Governor Wike?
No, Wike's own. There's nowhere he has come out the way Fayose and Ortom came out.
He came out to say that he was supporting a southern presidential candidate, which we know the PDP did not have a presidential candidate from the south.
As against Governor Ortom of Benue coming out boldly to endorse the candidature of the Labour Party presidential candidate. Okay, as against a former governor Ayo Fayose coming out boldly to say he worked for he worked for the APC
presidential candidate, saying that the numbers from Ekiti was from him, and he owned it.
Exactly. He worked for the governor Makinde. But Nyesom Wike did not come out to say that. He said that what he did was to work for his... He said he worked for a southern candidate,
but
right?
we know that he did not work for the PDP.
I'm not saying he did. I'm saying that
once he worked against the PDP...
This is not about Wike. This is not about Wike. How is Fayose suspended?
And another person
and Ortom is facing disciplinary panel. That's my point. Like, don't you have a constitution? Don't you have a constitution?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe a governor has the right to come and explain himself,
and the former governor doesn't. So what value does it bring if they lost completely in Ekiti because of Fayose? What exactly are they saying?
Oh my God!
It actually shows that the PDP is dying.
Yeah.
You might not want to believe this, but look at it. Look at the poor showing that they had in Lagos.
No, that's not poor. Terrible showing in the presidential elections
in the entire southwest and in the southeast,
and worse in the
southeast. That was their stronghold.
Southeast is this used to be. Let me not say it isn't anymore because only one state.
It was their stronghold.
Was the PDP stronghold for years on end since 1999. The southeast, in fact, were made to believe at some point that the people in the southeast only voted for the PDP.
That's how that story is, though.
So anyway, Sha, we'll see where that is coming from. Even though Ayo Fayose has come out to say that this suspension is the last kick of a dead horse. Ouch. Anyway, the Labour Party has now said they're rejecting the Ogun governorship poll result and they're demanding a rerun.
Yes, when I saw this story, I laughed. We don't
demand reruns. We go to court.
No, let them even demand rerun. What exactly is the bone of contention here? According to the results released by INEC, there are 2.6 million registered voters in Ogun State. The APC came first with about 260,000 or thereabout. Excuse me. Followed by the PDP.
Then I think there was the ADC.
Then the ADC, which was a party that is supported by Senator Ibikile Amosun.
No, but you also know that they
came third.
LP can be aggrieved because remember that there was stories of them supporting the PDP.
Whose fault?
So they might be advocating for the PDP and basically not for themselves.
Which of the PDPs? The PDP that has still had two candidates as of today, as we speak today, two candidates. Mr. Showumi is still a candidate. Ladi Adebutuze. You see the people.
Why do you like to bring up old wounds?
Facts.
Why do you like to bring up
facts?
Old wounds?
My own take, Sha.
I have Now I remember there's somebody I need to ask that question. That what's happening exactly?
Yeah, they have two gubernatorial candidates.
Somebody that will give us a clearer picture of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes, just clicked now. Anyway, so I don't know what's happening in Ogun State, but that's definitely what it is. Now, the protesters in Abuja demanding the sack of the INEC chairman and his prosecution.
Yes, it's well within their rights. If they feel aggrieved, they can protest, without, causing any mayhem or letting it lead to, what's it called now? A riot and all of that. As long as, they do it safely, yes, they can protest, and yes, they can demand for the sack of the INEC chairman if they feel so strongly. But beyond that, you need to do something more concrete. Like, for instance, support the court cases by Labour Party and the PDP with facts. That way, it won't just be you just protesting, but you actually getting some kind of legal backing to your protest, to the point where you get the man to go. But the president, this current president, and most presidents will not listen to such protest, and that's the truth.
Yeah, I think the change of what's
you need to channel it more, the legal way.
Go to court and all that. But then, what exactly does the Constitution talk about? Now, I just saw something now where the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students in Europe has confirmed the arrest of 50 Nigerian students in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus for alleged drug-related crimes, illegal clubbing, and prostitution.
This is a sad story. One, I didn't even know they had an association of Nigerian students in Europe that had this kind of organization. But isn't that the same country that the Nigerian government has been telling people not to go to, that they don't have any form of affiliations or whatever with them?
And then you did not just go there for school. You're not going there to commit crimes.
Even the ones that didn't commit crimes, there was a story of someone that was killed one time.
The people being unlawfully arrested and all that.
Their parents.
What do you now think is going to happen with you that now committed a crime? What?
Please. What's this place again?
Northern Cyprus, Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Which Cyprus. Turkey is the only person that recognizes them as a country.
Please stop sending your children to these places. I beg of you. Now, there's nothing the government can do. They don't have any diplomatic channels open. They cannot reach out to that government. They cannot ask for them to stay action on
nothing.
They can't even ask them to repatriate them. Let's not be this desperate, to go to such places where you're just putting your life in jeopardy. Because right now, the next thing you're going to hear is people really going to shout and say, what's the government doing about it?
But these things, the diplomatic issues that we need to really be careful about. Finally, before we go, the chairman and the chief executive of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamara, retired, has commended members and leaders of the House of Representatives for rejecting a bill to decriminalize cannabis cultivation, sale, and use. I know that yesterday it was a very heated argument, saw pictures and all that, stories of very heated arguments at the Green Chamber yesterday, but there was a decision that the majority had decided to reject the bill.
Please.
Don't even start what you cannot finish.
We beg of you guys. You see, drug abuse, and this, some countries have said it's okay, right? But they're not. They're really not okay. That's the truth. And if you speak to doctors who are involved in treating people who have gone through this, you will find out that these things are not okay. Let us not just join the bandwagon because of the commercial benefits or the perception that you're woke.
I agree with you. I think that there are more ills of this thing. There's so much crime being perpetrated already, so much of more like addiction with something that is already illegal. Imagine if it is not legal.
Yeah.
It's just game over. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the comments. We'll be back again on Monday with another wonderful edition of The Bomba. Do you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead?